Hello and welcome to this YouTube page. My name is Grace. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I know this is a bit of a less structured setup we have going on. I'm in BC with my sister, enjoying the beautiful weather here. And I don't have my microphone, so hopefully you can hear me as best as possible considering I don't have one. But today we have a really beautiful conversation. There's so much shift going on in my own life. I am receiving an upgrade and a relinquishment, and because I'm kind of just reflecting my journey onto this page, I just want to share the insights that are coming through as I kind of dive into the deep end of alchemicalizing density and shifting patterns and changing how I approach things, how my behavior is, what I give grace to, what I don't give grace to, or like I try to give grace to everything, but what you give permission to be in your life, like what are you having and holding space for, and is it serving you? As well, please like this video, please subscribe to the channel, please check out all of the content on this channel. We got lots going on here, and let's dive into the video. So yeah, let's get into it. As well, a big conversation involved in this topic is anxiety. We're going to be talking about mental formations, like thoughts, beliefs, opinions that form through the mental fields, and why we need to be so conscious and aware of them, and how to kind of not override them in a positive, empowering way so that you are the commander of your reality at all points in time. So when we go through upgrades and shifts and alchemicalization, something that can come up is anxiety, because we are changing. We're entering the unknown. We're entering all of the infinite possibilities that are within the quantum field, the quantum possibilities of your body, your reality, your evolution, your soul, what you want to experience in this lifetime, what you're ready to experience. And a lot of the times we are propelled and pushed into this unknown, and that creates a sense of insecurity in the field. We don't know what's going to happen. We can't predict it. We might feel fearful. We might feel, because that instability creates a sense of instability in the mind, and when the mind feels unstable, it goes to its reactive sphere. So it goes into like the patterns and programs that it's used to operating within when it doesn't know what to do. So when you go into unstable circumstances, say that you're alchemicalizing some aspect of your life and you're changing something, when you enter into that unknown, your mental body is also going to be put into the unknown, and it's going to revert back to its baseline, which might be traumatizations of I'm not good enough, fear of the unknown, uncertainty, negative self-talk. It might be I want to run away. It might be fight or flight. All of these things come up, and I'm not here to tell you that, you have to be hard on yourself and why am I still doing this? But we just have to witness that, because when we witness it, we are taking its power away and putting the power back into our hands. And as a creator being, as the being that controls your life, we need to know what's going on in our operating system. What are we running off of? What are we running on? And when we start understanding what we're running off of and running on, we can take action and change that operating system, change that programming, because it's up to us to do it. And we are the ones who can do it. We can do it effortlessly once we witness it and notice change and notice how we can change that system. So the mind is kind of what keeps us bonded to a reality or an experience that is not true. So from past experiences that are then encoded into our nervous system, the mind and the body, we believe something to be perceived as true, because the mind kind of and very greatly influences what we perceive reality to be. You can very greatly change your reality when you change your mind about something, when you change the way you look at things, when you soften, when you come back to self. The mind and the body become like one unit that work together. And the mind can greatly shift the body, and the body can greatly shift the mind. And a lot of the times, because the mind is kind of the captain, the body will follow suit. So when we come into a situation where we're alchemicalizing something and we're shifting and changing, and the mind goes into fear and the body goes into fear, our reality instantly becomes, I'm not safe, I can't do this, I can't move forward. And that disempowers us greatly because it takes away our creatorship. It takes away the belief that we're more than just a thought. We're more than just a past experience. We're more than just traumatization. And our minds and our bodies really like to act off of routine. This is something that I've learned from studying the mind and studying anxiety and, thought processes. And like, the mind and body are very comfortable with the traumatizations that have happened in the past. That becomes the familiar, that becomes the known. And even if it's a very painful experience, the body deems it safe because it knows how to work within that. If you've never experienced joy and abundance and love, your body has no idea what that feels like. It's not comfortable entering into that space because it's unfamiliar, it's unknown. And that unknown is unsafe to the body and the mind. So that's also why when somebody tells you, just do this, just like change your thing about it, and you're like, okay, I'm trying, your mind, it's very difficult to do this because you have to feel safe enough in your mind and your body to know that you can make that change and enter the unknown and be safe in the unknown. It's not something that we can convince ourselves into. It's something that we have to know the functionality of in order to enter it gracefully and seamlessly. And then when shit does hit the fan and our mind is like this, I told you it wasn't gonna work, I told you we're not strong enough, you can revert back to, my body's in the unknown, my body's uncomfortable, my body doesn't know what's happening because the mind is in unfamiliar circumstances. Like, the mind really loves routine. It loves not even having to think about things. When you take that same drive every day and you just don't, like, you go into a different world, you forget where you are, and then all of a sudden you end up at your destination and you were driving for 20 minutes. Like, the mind likes that because it doesn't have to focus as hard. It's very uncomfortable to change our reality. And we don't have to change our reality all the time, but we do need to change our reality so it's something that we enjoy. So it's something that's abundant and creative and enjoyable and expansive for our soul and our life and our experience and our journey, what we want to live through, what we want to do on this planet. So if you're entering a space where you're alchemizing something, or you're shifting, or you're going through the upgrades that are happening in the field right now, what are some things you can do to show up and try to remain stationed in that process, stationed in this alchemical process, stationed in your highest timeline, while also riding through the waves of uncertainty, dark night of the soul, anxiety, depression, personality fallout. So here's 4 things you can do. One thing is to center into your self. You have a core, you have a self, you have a being that witnesses you. Come back to center. You don't even think. Don't think about it. Don't think, who am I? What? Okay, who am I? No. Center into your breath. Center into the feeling of self. You have a beautiful, effervescent self that you can feel right now. Center into that being. Stationed there. It might be God. If you don't know what self is, I really recommend going into nature and just feeling that stillness. Feeling the energy and identification of what the trees are doing, how they feel to you, what their self is. Because everything has an energy. Come back into your energy, your space, your center. Another is slowness. A lot of the times when we're feeling anxiety is because we're in the rush, the adrenaline of society, the adrenaline of doing things all the time and scrolling on so much stimulation on our phones, on TV, on conversations, on information overload. Slow down. Notice the stillness. Notice the slowness of, again, how nature operates. How you need to, what do you need at this point in time? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to lay in bed? Do you need to take a nap? Do you need to set up a structure where your life is becoming slower now so you can alchemicalize at a different rate? Return to body. So this is similar to the first one of returning to core, but core can be an energy. Body is very sensational, so you need to feel your body, feel the safety of your body, feel your heart, feel your stomach, feel all of these sensations of this is my temple, this is my vessel, this is what keeps me safe. And when you start to feel your body and perceive your body and create perception around, okay, here I am, this is my vessel, this is where I am right now, this is where I'm stationed, the body starts to feel safer, because when we're outside of the body all the time, the body doesn't have a chance to feel the pain it might be feeling, to organize itself, to function at its highest. And this is why a lot of people become ill, because we don't know how to feel our emotions, we don't know how to feel our body. So this is a very important and powerful practice, is just to feel the body. When you're anxious, just feel the body, even if it's painful. It will leave when you decide and choose and take action to sit with self. It's like when you have a crying child in front of you and you just ignore it. That'll solve the problem. Like, just leave it. If you soothe the child, if you say, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna help you regulate, the child will probably stop crying a lot sooner, because you show up for it. Fourth thing that you can do to release yourself from anxiety is to release yourself from the mind. The mind is literally the only space that 99% of our depression comes from, 99% of our anxiety comes from, 99% of our insecurities come from, is the mind. Because the mind is always running, always trying to figure out things, always trying to create something to stimulate you, to have you involved in something. And the mind is not organically meant to be thinking that much. We should be using the mind very, like, not limitedly, but like when you need it. Like, it's your servant. It's meant to help you think about things, help you solve problems. Not like every second of every day be telling you shit, telling you your problems, telling you what you don't have, telling you what you should have. That's like way too much to think about all of the time. So release yourself from that. Don't even identify with it. You, like, all of the thoughts in your mind are trying to create a situation or a scenario or a circumstance that you don't need to focus on it. It doesn't serve you. What is it for? So when we're moving through like really big shifts, sometimes what we need is something that we're not comfortable giving ourselves. Maybe we need time away from people. Maybe we need time away from social media. Maybe we need months away from social media. Maybe we need to lie down for a few hours. There's no race. There's no rush. Like, who are you comparing yourself to not give yourself what you need when you need it? This is one thing I've been asking myself so much lately, is like, why would I not serve myself what God would effortlessly give me when I need it? Knowing all the work that we're doing on this planet, just by holding this frequency of I'm willing to change, I'm willing to shift, I'm willing to be my best self. What are we not? Why are we not giving ourselves that grace, that love, that abundance? You are abundant. You are abundant. Why won't you give yourself this abundance? If you can have what you need when you need it, because you are abundant. And when you receive what you need, you can do more and be more. When we're moving through anxiety or depression, often the body goes into fight or flight or freeze. And when you're operating in this way, in these fight or flight or freeze responsive anxiety, the brain and the mind go into black and white. This is this and this is this, and there's no in between. And that is a very unsafe reality to be in. Statements like, I'm not safe. It's always been this way. I'll never get better. And those, like, again, it's not a time to be stuck in the mind, not a time to be operating from this very limited awareness, limited state of consciousness. Overall, just stay out of the mind. Like, just don't even invest any of your energy trying to figure out and puzzle piece your way out of like these statements that your mind tells you is truth, because they're not truth. I can promise you that. a lot of what your mind is telling you is your limiting beliefs, your traumatizations of the past, trying to puzzle piece things together, trying to resolve things that don't even need to be thought of. So like one of the greatest ways to move through this is by knowing that you are safe because you exist. You are safe because you are that you are. You are safe because you are safe when you decide you're safe. And this is self-responsibility. Like, I think sometimes we get stuck in this childlike, I don't know how to take care of myself emotionally or mentally, or that there's a savior out there, or that we're still waiting for a mother or father figure to show up and tell us what is right, tell us what is wrong. And while sometimes that is needed, sometimes we need validation, we can't rely on it because you have the same truth inside of yourself. You know what you know what is true for you. You know what is authentic for you, what God may want for you that you just don't really trust in, which is fine. But what if you took the chance to start creating that trust in self? Start creating that idea of maybe I can trust myself. Maybe it is worth it to give it a try to see if I'm right. You know, sometimes we just want somebody else to tell us what we already know just to confirm that we're not crazy. But if we took the risk of seeing if we were true and we were true, and then we did it again and again and again, we would start creating this beautiful, healthy relationship with self that was built on trust, built on experience, not from the mind thinking, but from physical experience, knowing that I've experienced this before and it has served me, and I have been correct in following my intuition, following my gut, following my gnosis. And that is how we have to move through, like, not trusting self, is we have to take action in building trust with self. This is the foundation of healing anxiety, is that we don't trust self. We don't trust our intuition. We're leaning on somebody else. We're trying to make somebody else God. We're trying to idolize somebody else's truth instead of our own, instead of God's truth for us. And yes, we're here together. We're meant to lean on each other and learn from one another. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you can be a guide for yourself. You can be whole because you exist, because you have taken the steps to be whole, to be complete with yourself. And it is a journey. It's such a sacred journey. It's such a hard journey at times. But I'm taking it on, and I think it's one of the greatest journeys I'll ever go through in this density, in this body. And I just want to do my due diligence of knowing that I gave myself everything, that I learned everything I could from this intelligence that I am, this genius that I am, the capability that I am. And I wasn't leaning on somebody else to tell me what to do, to tell me who I am, to tell me what is right, what is wrong. I learned it because I experienced it, because I took the chance to try and experience it. You can be your own affirmation, you can be your own confirmation, you can be your own validation, you can be your own savior, you can be your own tether to God, you can be your own tether to source. You can trust what you're experiencing as divine, authentic, and sacred, and perfect. And it's all mental. Like, any thought that what I'm experiencing is not what I should be experiencing, that's mental, that's ego, that's you labeling yourself, boxing yourself into something. When you are liberation, you are the key to liberation for yourself and for the planet and for the collective and the community and your friends and family. And when we all just see this within ourselves, I think that it will just echo out for everybody else to experience too. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this served you in some way, shape, or form. Please give this video a big like and subscribe to the channel if it served you. I'm so thankful you're here with me. Check out my channel for a bunch of other content. I have an energy work series that I'm working on. And I wish you all the best. I wish you so much abundance. Take care.